Okay, before I jump into uh, Bad Blood further, I want to have some mentionables, as I'm going to call it. I have not finished the rest of the debut of NXT on CW, um, which had me thinking about, there was a big audience in that arena, just like a Raw or SmackDown. And the first person that I thought about, just to me, was Rosemary. And I just think it would be great for Rosemary to get a chance to perform for this higher caliber of an audience rather than the smaller audiences that they play to an Impact. And it's not a knock against Impact. I know exactly the business model that they're using as to why. But just for her to be able to, and all with all the hard work that she's put in, actually anyone that was, that's doing the crossover from TNA Impact to be able to experience this now that NXT is going to be going on the road, and they're having these crossovers. I just think it's just cool as shit. Also, this is a little AEW spill. Ricochet has a match against Osprey, and I'll just say this and take it for what it's worth. I will not be surprised if that match does not finish. Reason being, and I did not watch the entirety of AEW last week because I told you I don't really rock with them like that, but I did see the promos. Um, but the one thing that I did notice at their pay per view, PLE, sorry, when Osprey he walked when he first confronted Ricochet. Ricochet was speaking with Renee. This is when, at the PLE, Ricochet was approached by Osprey and they had words. The thing that I noticed was that Ricochet was suited and booted. So a light bulb went off in my head. Recall, which is that the original plan for the Hurt Business was to have Ricochet, and the old man said no. Allegedly, well, it's not. Allegedly that he said no, but from MVP's mouth, they wanted Ricochet. Sorry, the fact that he's in a suit, and if the Hurt Business still stays the same, with their suits, I would not be surprised. And I read that MVP did arrive. I didn't see, I don't know where, whatever. This is just a theory that went back that I noticed. So I would not be surprised if that match does not finish, is interrupted by the Hurt Business or whatever name they have. I just saw a photo with the three guys with Shane, and I forgot that it was in the underground. I was like, damn, if Shane is going over there, that's a good look. If Shane is like the head of that, just the photo just set it off. But I think a good look for Hurt Business is the three original members. We're missing one, as we know. Ricochet, and throw Keith Lee in there. That's a motherfucking faction. Let's move on. NXT mentioned another one. Adonis and Carmen. Like I said, I had been going for a while, but I did have the caption up. As you can see, I did notice that she did the turn back when he came through the crowd. Sometimes they do these things and then it just nothing happens. So I was very surprised when they did the follow up during Carmen's match. Obviously, something happened with these two. She seems to be sweating him more than he's into her. But his is just a theory. Take it for what it's worth. Another one. I'm going to give this storyline about another 2 more weeks, and then all of a sudden you're not going to see it anymore. So that's just my take on it. Take it for what it is. If it goes further, cool. I like Carmen a lot. She has a lot of potential. Extremely pretty girl. I like the fact I liked her more when she was with Natty. Not that I don't like her less, but Natty, them both being Canadians, I think they probably stopped doing that story arc because of contract with Natalia at the time. I'm not sure. This is just stringing pieces together. I like the fact that Natalia was down in NXT. They're really not doing anything with her on the quote unquote main roster. So for her to stay and build that bond with Carmen, and then that's a storyline within itself. If they ever wanted to pull the trigger on that, let's see Carmen as a heel, but it is what it is. Like I said, I don't see this story with her and Donnie going too long. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get into the shits. So Bad Blood. I was thinking about this pay-per-view, right? And I'll speak very little on it because some of the card. Anyhow, just the concept of Bad Blood, right? It's surprising to me that as much money as WWE has, and I'm not pocket watching, but you would think, or at least I would think, that I would have cut a deal with Taylor Swift for the rights or for the usage of her song Bad Blood, especially this just shows that, I mean, the old regime was out of touch, I guess, especially at the time where Taylor Swift was being railroaded by her former manager. I forgot the guy's name now. He used Scooter Braun. Yeah, Scooter Braun had done the deal where he took her what do you call that in the music industry? Damn, why am I brain farting on that? Her masters, that's what it is. Her masters and things of that nature, and yeah, I believe he like sold them off. And she was upset over that, and then she went and remastered her old songs and basically had her fan base only purchase, at least this is what I researched, only purchase her newer albums, the remastered songs, so she can make more of the profit. But at that time, that was probably like a kind of a messed up period for her, and that would have been a really good time for WWE to kind of capitalize as a win-win, where we, can have like maybe 7 years, 10 years for that song. But then again, damn that, I think, actually, no, actually, no. I was thinking one way. I was just, to be clear, I was thinking, well, maybe they had to go through Scooter Braun. But no, this was when she was remastering. When she started remastering those songs, reach out and say, hey, if we could bum this song from you, we'll be willing to pay X amount of dollars. And that, of course, could fund her remastering efforts and whatever. I mean, look, she's in billionaire status now, but it just would have been, it would have been just a good idea for them to have the licensing of that song, so that every year, I mean, like every WrestleMania now, we gotta hear those lame songs that I think, from the weekend and all that other stuff. But that's neither here or there. But this would have been a perfect fit. So let's get with the shits. If I am booking this Rhea versus Liv match, or Liv versus Rhea match, the first thing, well, not the first, well, basically, this right here, this phone call, Finn to Dom, is basically Finn has reached out to Raquel, and Raquel is going to make her return. Because when you think of the concept of bad blood, who else has bad blood with Rhea? Raquel. Gotta keep in mind, Rhea was heel and was doing heelish things, and now this is retribution back on her to what she was doing. So do not expect her to get this title anytime soon. If I'm booking this, Raquel makes her return. Also, go along with something I think I saw on Google News about a new member joining a WWE faction. So they'd have a female. Liv would have her female heater, with Raquel, and now Rhea has two women she has to deal with. And in my opinion, she should deal with this on her own because she shitted on those women. I've stated it earlier that I still sided with Liv because of what was done to her. So, if I'm booking this, Raquel makes her reappearance for this match, and this is how Rhea loses. McIntyre and CM Punk. Actually, I'm tired of this. I'm a little worn out with this feud because McIntyre has really gotten on my nerves basically he's being annoying and he's the dumbest heel. Or he's become a really dumb heel, let's just say. His actions that really have messed up his title run, his 1 second, 2 minute, 4 minute title that he had at WrestleMania, and just his actions are like really stupid a lot of times. And I feel, and this is, I'm sorry guys, it's like 3 in the morning. I'm doing this, and I'm in between doing something else, so forgive me. There's a post that I did about Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo and how they, had the feud, which you hadn't seen in a while. Yes, this is similar, but it's not to me because I feel like their feud has had a little bit. I want to say I was gonna say more substance, but like it just both women were of higher intellect. Like I said, McIntyre is acting dumb. Even Punk a lot of times is acting dumb. Whoever is producing it has them acting dumb. The match with when Seth was the special ref was stupid in the point where, there are times where Punk could have just got the win. Fucking Seth takes the bracelet, puts the bracelet on, and instead of him going for the pin, now he's got to turn to Seth and create this whole friction with Seth. Oh, you took the bracelet. Why you take the bracelet? You're screwing with me? Like, dude, get the pin. Monday Night Raw, circle back. Seth, you asshole for playing with my bracelet. And that's how you keep that feud going. To have him stop in the middle of the match is stupid. So it's going on long enough. Upon further review of watching Raw, I said, you know what? The Hell in the Cell match should have been on Raw. Even if it's after this pay-per-view, that match should have been on Raw. And the Bronson and Braun match should have been at the pay-per-view. It could have been the third match on the card. If the first two matches didn't kill it, they could have put that in the middle. Same thing, had the ring drop, the whole 9 yards, and have the guys reset up the ring while they could play video packages and people could go get refreshments and whatever. And then you come in with like Cody and Roman to, really get them re-enthused. You don't come back with, what's the stupid Australian kid with Austin Theory? You don't bring them in a match against such and such. No, you bring them. You after that, hold them setting up the ring. Refreshments. You come back with Cody. Tag team with Roman and against Bloodline. To really get them amped up. So I could really care less. It's kind of worn out their welcome. They could have done other things with Punk or I don't know, bro. It's just, I'm tired of it. So it is what it is. Okay, Bayley, Nia Jax. Um, this could go a number of ways. They could do the quick money in the bank switcheroony at the end of the match, or they can milk that because last week this was the first time Nia was really aggressive, negatively against Tiff. Now they could let that build, which I believe that would be a smarter move just to let that build out. Or they could have Bailey win. It's a rugged match. Tiff comes out, hits everybody with the briefcase, pins Bailey. That's probably like a very, very, very least likely, very last option. Nia wins. Um, Anything can happen because I'm thinking like something something accidental happens and yada yada yada. But this to me can go anyway. Rewind and slow down, man. Okay. The likelihood of Bailey coming out on top and following up an appearance on SmackDown to me is least likely. However, this could end up happening and that could still cause a feud with Nia and Tiff, but I think it's probably a better sell. See, I just don't know if Tiff is getting the belt too fast because then it becomes who's going to take it off. Are they finally going to give Naomi a shot, so she can get another run? Is it going to be a feud with her and Bailey? If this goes into January, I damn sure do not want to see Charlotte just pop up and then just get a fucking title victory. That would be lame as shit. Just like I really don't want to see Charlotte win the Royal Rumble. It's no offense, but sometimes timing and everything is like, yo, man, we've been here, we've seen this already. Unless they set something, but then again, I was going to say, unless they set up Charlotte and Rhea, but this would be the third run, and now Rhea's a face, so yeah. Yeah, this realistically can go either way, unless they're gonna, finally pull the trigger on the Naomi heel turn, which I mentioned. Moon's back. I don't know. The last match they had was good, so this running back should be just as good. That's all I have to say. I just can't. I really don't. How would I book it? Like I said, I would book it. Um, Nia winning and stretching out the storyline to see more of a build up, so that when Tiff finally screws her and gets the title, or if she just screws her and Bailey ends up winning, um, or another opponent down the line ends up winning, it's been built up. So now when she does turn on her, it means more because it's been built up. And if you recall when she choked her or grabbed her, if you remember Tiff's face, like she was angry and she had that look of like, I'm not going to forget that. So yeah, that's my feelings on that. Cody Roman versus Bloodline. I'm just gonna say Bloodline. Uh, However this goes down, I'm booking this. I want this to lead into Survivor Series, Bloodline versus Bloodline. And anyone out there, please correct me if I'm wrong. But last year's series, if I'm correct, was Sammy, Cody, KO, Seth, and Randy. Right? That's 5 people. I'm booking this and I'm going to have Hikuleo show up. Hikuleo is the younger brother of Tommy, Tonga, and Tongaloa. In real life, this is their real life younger brother. And he just signed. Um, he shows up. Thus, you have 5. You got the 3 brothers. you have the Werewolf, and you have Solo. Survivor Series is set up, and but this is, I don't know who's healthy, who's injured. I don't know what the situation is with Jimmy. I don't know, if Rock is ready, but if Jimmy's ready, you bring Jimmy back into the fold. Rock comes back into the fold. That's three right there. Then you're gonna have to make up with Jay, and you have Cody, right? With that said, I'm going to transition. I'm going to do a side step, and then I'm going to come back. I'm booking this. I felt it was too early for Jey Uso to win the IC belt. Different levels, different reasons. You blew Braun up as if he's going to be one of the badasses that's going to hold the IC belt for a while. And for him to lose it, like, it really, to be honest, it really felt like 3 weeks, but obviously it wasn't. But it just seemed like it was like snap of the finger. He just felt like he just won it. As I said, I'm booking this. The match on Raw last week is interrupted by the Bloodline, the same way when they popped up on NXT, and that is fuel for Jay leading into Survivor Series. The other issue that I have, and I've said it before, and now I got a few more receipts. Jay cannot cut fucking promos. So maybe this is going to be a short run. Maybe he will lose this title, and this storyline will still kick in where the Bloodline will cause him to lose the title, and that'll amp him to be in Survivor Series. I don't know. I'm saying I'm booking it. He would have lost last week. It is receipt number 1. Okay. YouTube. Actually, no. Before I even get to the YouTube, as I had already stated, when he can't yeet his way through every fucking thing. Your promos have to have substance. I picked my nose. Yeet. I picked my butt. Yeet. I had a Diet Coke today. Yeet. You can't keep yeeting to get the crowd, because now you have the strap, and way more attention is on the promos because they're going to give you bigger opponents. That's what I'm assuming, right? With that being said, go on YouTube, go find that Fanatics Fest that they had at the Javits Center. There's a round table. Bianca, Jade, and Jay. When they ask Jay questions, Jay does not sound confident. He doesn't speak with confidence. So now, receipt 2, as we just saw on Raw, he got in that ring and you saw him do what? Pacing back and forth as if they let him, hey man, you go on the fly. We trust you. We know you're not going to be disrespectful. He goes out there and he's eating up time, eating like, bro, what are you going to say? What are we going to learn? What's the hype? What's this? Brings his mother into it. I can't tell if he's going to get emotional, if he's not, if he's focused, but the words are just not there. He doesn't come across as confident. The longer he has the strap and the longer he continues to not decide, let me get my ass into an improv class and stay there so that I'm really ready to rock and roll with this stick. In ring, he got it. We good. When it comes to that stick, that's the other side of the game. And if you can't keep the attention, it's going to get boring really fast. So, like I said, I would have booked him to lose that match and that would be the reason. But once again, it could be coming up. They might holler at him in the storyline. He might pass, and then you know, new bloodline shows up, disrupts. Now I'm in, yada yada yada. My whole thing, I haven't had time, but I was gonna do it. And I tell you now, Survivor Series, I've already laid the characters out for you. So we got Roman, we got Usos, that's three. We got Cody, we got Rock. We got the Werewolf, we got Solo, we got the three brothers. That's 5-on-5. During that match, that's when Rock turns. Rock turns, because remember what he told Cody, right? Rock turns, messes up Cody. Rock turns, messes up Roman. Now you got your setup for you're going to have to deal with me. Then that can lead into WrestleMania. Even if, and it's so funny because I was on a wrestling forum and they said, who should Cody drop the title to? And the options were it was Seth, it was Roman, and I think it was John Cena, and it was The Rock. And the obvious choice is The Rock because he's the most hated, especially when it comes to Cody and the quote unquote fan base, the crybabies, whatever, right? So let's say Rock hurts Roman, puts Roman out for December, right? Because remember, Roman's on a shortened schedule. So we do some injury, he puts him out. We don't see Roman until Royal Rumble, buys him a little bit more time, buys the storyline a little bit more time as you transition from Cody, Rock. Cody loses the title, right? Then maybe gets it back. No, not even say maybe. He should get it back before Mania so that you can have the Bloodline versus Bloodline match. Sorry, not Bloodline versus Bloodline. Head of the table match. Rock and Roman. I could kind of see them, or I could kind of even buy, me producing this thing, doing night one, Cody Rock. Cody wins the title back. Night two, Bloodline, head of the table match. But it's kind of a repeat almost of last year. But it is what it is, If they were, let's say that it doesn't end up Cody and Rock and they save that for the Slam, let's just say Rock does enter the Royal Rumble. I just think all the bloodlines should enter the Royal Rumble and they should all go over the ropes and it should just be a big feud. That's if we're still doing this whole storyline. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not even think this far out. But as far as Jay, I already spoke on that. And as far as Cody and Roman, as long as it leads to the concept that I said, but they're going to do whatever they're going to do. It is what it is. Let's move on.